managed to set their clocks forward. Good morning to everyone, and good morning to everyone online. If you would please stand and join us in singing Denise Rosier's Spirit is in This Place. Let's get this party moving.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Now, if you please join us in our statement of faith. All together now. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. Join us in our next song featuring Ms. Gianna Garcia on Blackbird.
Okay. They're going to be up there. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly all your life. Everybody sing. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see all your life. You were only waiting for this moment to be free. broken wings and learn to fly all your life. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise.
Gianna Garcia, Mr. John Russ, you may be seated.
Good morning to all of you sitting here in the sanctuary and those at home who are joining us through live streaming. Please take a moment to check in on Facebook and tell your friends that you are at Unity of Springfield. And then if you would silence or turn off your phones, that would be appreciated. Let us read our mission statement together. Our mission is to encourage and inspire spiritual and personal growth by empowering each other to be authentically all that we came here to be. The sanctuary flowers today are provided by Cindy Driver in grateful celebration of our awesome Unity band. Thank you, Cindy, and thank you, band. Beautiful flowers. Please join me in speaking the affirmation for today's daily word. Together, my helpful spirit is divine love in action. When I see an opportunity to be of service, I do not hesitate to offer my help. I am careful to be sensitive to others' feelings, respecting their right to decline my assistance, never insisting that my way will work better. With humility and grace, I go where I am asked and do what needs to be done. I am blessed to be the hands of God in the world. Being of help always feeds my soul. I also graciously accept help when it is offered, understanding the impulse to serve doesn't live in me alone. My life becomes richer and more fulfilling when I live and work in harmony with others, willingly offering to help wherever I can and gratefully accepting assistance whenever I need it. The scripture today is Galatians 6:2. Bear one another's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ. And now let us repeat the affirmation together. My helpful spirit is divine love in action. During today's prayer and meditation, please hold the following in prayer for their highest and best experience of life: Sally, Clay, Nancy, Kim, Dee, Edna, Susan, Mandy, Mary Lou, Paul, Sharon's mama, our shelter guests, and anyone for whom you wish us to share in with prayer. We also affirm peace for the people of Ukraine. We hold Betty Pittman in our thoughts following the transition of her husband. As the prayer bowl rings, we will turn our attention within our heart space, preparing for prayer and meditation. We're going to see if I can make it make a beautiful noise today. As we follow the vibration and the sounds of the prayer bowl, we begin our prayer and meditation by focusing on our breathing. Take a deep breath in, hold, and exhale. Focus your thoughts on your breath. Take a deep breath, hold, exhale. Again, deep breath in, hold, exhale. We begin by relaxing our bodies, starting at the top of our head, relaxing the forehead, cheeks, jaw, ears. Follow your relaxation down your neck and shoulders to your arms, elbows, wrists, and fingers. Deep breath in, hold, exhale. Focusing on the heart center, bless your body and be grateful for every cell, every function, every movement, every breath. Relax the lower back and thighs, knees, calves, ankles, feet, toes. Focus on your breath. Inhale, exhale. For the persons on the prayer list, ourselves, our loved ones, friends, for everyone everywhere, we affirm health and healing in mind, body, and spirit. We affirm prosperity and abundance, guidance, peace of mind for all. We see peace on earth between family members, friends, neighbors, between people with differing beliefs regarding religion or spirituality, inclusivity, history, boundaries. We visualize countries laying down their weapons and celebrating life and love, families reuniting in jubilation. Life is good for all. We continue to feel the presence of divine spirit as we move into a time of meditation. Keeping your eyes closed, think of a person close to you who loves you very much. It could be someone from the past or the present, someone still in life or who's passed. It could be a spiritual teacher or guide. Imagine that person standing on your right side, sending you their love. That person is sending you wishes for your safety, well-being, happiness. Feel the warm wishes and love coming from that person toward you. Now, bring to mind the same person or another person who cherishes you deeply. Imagine that person standing on your left side. They are also sending you wishes for your wellness, your health, your happiness. Feel the kindness and the warmth coming to you from that person. Now imagine that you are surrounded on all sides by all of the people who love you and have loved you. Picture all of your friends and loved ones surrounding you. They are standing there, sending you wishes for your happiness, well-being, and health. Bask in the warmth of these wishes and love coming from all sides. You are filled and overflowing with warmth and love. Now bring your awareness back to the person standing on your right side. Begin to send the love that you feel back to that person. You and this person are similar. Just like you, this person wishes to be happy. Send all of your love and warm wishes to that person. And repeat the following phrase silently. May you live with ease. May you be happy. May you be free from pain. May you live with ease. May you be happy. May you be free from pain. May you live with ease. May you be happy. May you be free from pain. Now focus your awareness on the person standing to your left. Begin to direct your love within to that person. Send all of your love and warmth to them because, again, you and that person are alike. Just like you, that person wishes to have a good life. And repeat the following phrase silently. Just as I wish to, may you be safe, May you be healthy. May you live with ease and happiness. Just as I wish to. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you live with ease and happiness. Just as I wish to. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you live with ease and happiness. Now picture another person that you love, maybe a relative or friend, that wishes to have a happy life, and send warm wishes to them. May your life be filled with happiness, health, and well-being. Expanding our awareness, let's picture the whole globe in front of us as a little ball, and send warm wishes to all living beings on the globe who, like us, want to be happy. Just as we wish to, may you live with ease, happiness, and good health. Just as we wish to, may you live with ease, happiness, and good health. Just as we wish to, may you live with ease, happiness, and good health. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Another deep breath in. Exhale. In the silence.
All right, so we have Miss Gianna Garcia singing with us today. This is her first time. She's a little bit nervous. She's going to be singing Hands by Patrick Leonard and Jewel Kilcher, which is a beautiful, beautiful song.
Just one thing, it would be our hollow cave, and not to worry, 'cause worry is wasteful and useless in times like these. I won't be made useless, I won't be idle despair. I'll gather myself around my faith, for light does the darkness most fear. Stole your golden shoes, it didn't steal your laughter. Heartache came to visit me, but I know it wasn't ever after. We will fight, not out of spite, for someone must stand up for what's right. That's where there's a man who has no voice, there are struggles singing. Small, I know, but they're not.
Good morning. And hi out there in TV land. We have a lot of people out there. Some of you may not realize that. And so that's why all the cameras and so on. I'm going to borrow that, if I might, and put it here in the middle. I think I'll start with a couple of stories. There was an iron worker on a skyscraper. Anybody have fear of heights? You do, Gianna? There was an iron worker on a skyscraper who calmly walked a narrow beam 15 floors above the street. And the wind was blowing, heavy, heavy winds, and the rain was beating down, and he showed no fear. So when he got back down to the ground, somebody asked him, "How did you ever get a job like that?" "Well," replied the ironworker, "I used to drive a school bus, but my nerves gave out." I have to tell you, though, as a person certified in music to teach, I had never taught band or orchestra. I'd taught vocal a lot, but I'd never taught band or orchestra. But one time, they hired me to teach one day. It was just a sub, one day. And with middle school people, 60 of them in a room with loud instruments, that was enough to do me in, I'm telling you. Does anybody realize what that might be? Now that we've all known what our fears are about, and let me say one more story. Stephen King, anybody know who he is? Most of us this age would. He talked about his daily writing to a reporter once and said that he only writes in the morning. That's his habit. The interviewer said asked him if he ever wrote anything at night. And his reply was, "Are you kidding with the stuff I write?" But the real story I want to get to, now that many of us have been reminded of our fears, is a young woman waiting for a bus in an area that was not so safe. And a young rookie police officer approached her and said, "Would you like me to wait with you?" She replied confidently, "Thank you, but that's not necessary. I'm not afraid." So he said to her, "Well, then will you wait with me?" We can all be helpful. We can all be helpful. That's really an important statement that I'm making right now. The one commandment given by Jesus in the New Testament, from the book of John, chapter 13, verses 34 and 35, "A new commandment I give you, that you love one another," and elsewhere is added, "and care for each other." We can all be helpful. I'm talking today about Jesus as philanthropist, and I've totally forgotten. They're going to fire me back there because this little thing is supposed to turn the slides, and I forget about it. And I'm not sure I would do it right anyway. I don't know where we are now. Keep doing it till we get a slide. Okay, I want to get into the definition of philanthropy because that's what I'm talking about today. Jesus as philanthropist. Maybe you haven't talked or thought about Jesus as a philanthropist before, but the definition of a philanthropist is one who does goodwill to all people, especially in active effort to promote human welfare. Now, philanthropy is an organization that distributes or that is supported by philanthropic funds. Now, do you have any idea what I'm going to talk about? Philanthropist is one who practices philanthropy. Any philanthropists here? And some of us are philanthropists even though we don't really realize it. So when you leave here, you may have a little different idea about philanthropy. And I guess my hands are kind of dry. They're having a hard time with these pages. Acts 10:38 continues Luke's gospel by outlining the early actions of Jesus, of disciples following the ascension of Jesus. Now, from a lecture from Peter, Peter says, when God poured out on Jesus the Holy Spirit and power, then he went everywhere doing good and healing. And if you take a look at the Bible once in a while, you will find all kinds of stories about the good that Jesus did in his short 33 years. And it was only 3 years of ministry, roughly. What the Bible says about giving, that it's good when it's done voluntarily. That's in 2 Corinthians. That heartfelt giving is a form of religion that God approves of. That's from James 1:27. And if a person who generously helps those in need works hand in hand with God, which we have to in order to do the good that we do in the world, God views that as a loan. It says so right in the Bible. The Bible teaches that God himself will repay the giver. That's from Proverbs and Luke. Proverbs and Luke. Now, if I keep asking that question, any philanthropists in the building? All hands should go up because each of you are philanthropists. By the definition, this church is a philanthropy. Therefore, all members who contribute to it are philanthropists. And in addition to that part of giving, and I just lost the other hearing aid. I don't know if anyone can tell, but I'm wearing hearing aids that are inside my ears. And earlier today, the one went, and when a battery goes, they go, nee, 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 nee. Now, the right one did that earlier, and the left one just did that now. So I don't have to hear you. You need to hear me. So if they can't hear me, you can turn it up. Now, this is from the Puritans founding Harvard College in 1636. The origins of the nonprofit sector precede the founding of our country. Isn't that interesting? Our country was formed after philanthropy began, with the Puritans forming Harvard College back in 1636. Most nonprofit leaders know very little about the history of philanthropy, but a large swath of our economy is involved with philanthropy without knowing it, without even knowing it. So I figured it was time to give a little credit where credit's due. As the settlers migrated west, and as the West was settled, they created charitable organizations and voluntary associations to fill the gaps that government didn't provide, all out through the West. And there are many of them. According to the National Center for Charitable Statistics, there are approximately 1 million nonprofit organizations in the United States. And I'm forgetting that. Are you doing it for me, Lisa? I'll tell you, this church is full of people that are just wonderful, because I keep forgetting this little thing that's laying here, and I'm supposed to do those slides, and I hope you can read them. There are, of that 1.6 million nonprofit organizations in the United States, approximately 380,000 are churches. 380,000. Now, why am I talking about this? You are one. You are one, and each of you are philanthropists, and I wanted you to know that and to honor that and to appreciate that, because you provide shelter and food and clothing for the homeless at this church. Now, this church, in addition to another organization I'm going to talk about in just a minute, all have existed, I think, pretty much 100% on donations from philanthropists. There's not any government program for churches very often. If they are, they're for specific sections, like child care or something like that. Most churches and other organizations, philanthropic organizations, exist purely on the philanthropists, on the gifts of the philanthropists. The shelter here in this church houses many people when it's 32 degrees or below, and feeds them if they need to be fed, clothes them. There are lots of clothes around here. Some guests are here today from another philanthropy I'd like to honor today. And I want you to meet the members of the Order of the Eastern Star Crescent Chapter 21, an organization under the umbrella of the Shriners. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. Would you guys stand up or wave or something? There's a group of them here today. Thank you. Thank you. That also is an organization that has existed from the outset on contributions. It's a philanthropic organization. You won't hear very much about them because a lot of the good that is done under the Shriners umbrella in all the different organizations that are part of the Shriners family are done in secret. The Shriners are an arm of the Freemasons, and the Freemasons were formed in 1723, long time ago. And at that time, which was typical of most anything in the society, only white men were allowed to join. But today, we've grown a whole lot in our consciousness. And our consciousness has created many organizations for other races and for women to be involved with as well. And Les and I are here involved with the Order of the Eastern Star, of which these guys are part of one of the chapters. Now, Margaret Jacob, who is a professor of university at UCLA, says in her book, the book is called Grounded in Enlightenment, I think, but she makes this statement: grounded in the Enlightenment, the organization's core values, and she's referring to Freemasons and Shriners at this point. The core values are religious tolerance, thirst for knowledge, and sociability. While it's not a secret society, it does have passwords and rituals that are important, that go clear back to the medieval guild from 1723. Now, America, I'm going to switch a little bit. Les gets aggravated at me because I'll be talking about one subject and then all of a sudden I'll talk about another one. And he's always saying, so you skip to that, huh? Anyway, now I'm going to America, from the Freemasons to America. The Freemasons were created in England, I believe. America is considered to be, and you should pat yourself a little bit on the back, should be the most generous country in the world. That's why we need to understand our nature, our gifts, and our abilities, and those things that we do for our world today. Philanthropy has played a major role in American history. Since the 19th century, philanthropy has been a major source of income for religion, health care, fine and performing arts, and education. All of those fields would be much, much less if but for philanthropy. And a lot of those places where money has been given and contributed to one cause or another have the names right on the front, such as the Carnegie Hall or Carnegie Institute or the JFK Institute, and they're all over. In every college campus, you will see names on some of the buildings. And in how many places are there in this city that J.Q. Hammond's name is? And Juanita, his wife. Many, many places. The annual Philanthropist's report, now this goes way back to 2009, and there's a thing here, a graph here. This is way back in 2009. It could even be even more now, but I couldn't find a more recent one. That individuals, see the big blue part that takes up about 3/4 of that circle? That's individual giving. Individual giving. About 75% of the 100% of the contributions to philanthropies were given by individuals. Pat yourself on the back. How about saying amen? This slide should tell you an awful lot. Now notice the other sections that are there. There are corporations, bequests, other foundations, and the Gates Foundation. Out of 100%, they gave 3%. But they're large, large contributors, not only to America, but across the world, to the philanthropy. Now, I'm going to put up a slide here that is, I'm not doing anything. Somebody back there is doing it. Thank you, Lisa. Famous Freemasons throughout history. Take a look at this. This is just a few names that you might recognize. Notice Winston Churchill, Billy Graham, Norman Vincent Peale. All of these. And notice the last names. My grandfather, my father, and Lester McClelland, right here. It's interesting if you take a look at spend a little bit more time with that while I'm talking. From its earliest days, Shriners were known for their philanthropic efforts. They helped heal people from a yellow fever epidemic in Florida, worked long hours to help the sick and the flood victims in 1889 for Johnstown, Pennsylvania. I don't remember personally that flood, but maybe some of you have heard about it in history. 1889? Well, let's see, the flood, yeah. And I don't remember hearing about it personally, but it must have been a doozy for it to make this. Being a purpose-driven fraternity, by 1922, the Shriners had decided on one major philanthropy that they would do, and that is children. The 22 children's orthopedic and burn hospitals are provided, all of that is provided by the Shriners. And it was only a few years ago that they made a decision to go ahead and accept insurance for families that had it. But for people who don't have insurance or who don't have other means, they will take care of lip and cleft palates. They will take care of orthopedic problems. They will take care of, and if you have seen the ads on the news, you will notice little Alec here with Les and I. Alec is 16 years old now and driving his own vehicle. He's in a wheelchair, but he drives his own vehicle, and he's going to Northwestern University. Quite a thing from when he started. And when Les and I spent this evening with him at a gala downtown Chicago, his goal at that time, and it may change because I know when I went to college from a little bitty town, college courses were like a buffet to me. Every course I took for a while, I just really loved it. And I thought, oh, gee, this would make a fun major. This would make a great major. This would make a great major. So I was all over the place with my interests for quite a while going to college, because from when you come from a very small town, and some of you did too, then you are not aware of all the things that are out there for you. The different careers you could follow, career paths you could follow, and so on. So, and I also want to mention that under that umbrella, a while ago that I was talking about, here I am shifting again, there are many organizations. Some are men's organizations, some are for different races, some are for couples, and some are just for men. Now, Les is the chaplain for the ushers for the Shrine Hospital in the Children of Chicago, Shrine Hospital for Children in Chicago. I have been Queen of the Nile in 2014, raising with our International Quilt Project thousands of dollars. And those visiting today, those few people back there have done many, many, many things. The other night at our meeting on Tuesday night, there were 4 more philanthropies brought up. And one of them was for service dogs. Dogs are really close to my heart. I've got 3 of them at home waiting for me to get home. And anything to do with dogs is great. I told Les, I said, if there's a heaven and I get there, I want to shake the hand of the man that domesticated dogs. That's one of my dear, dear wishes. But we have been involved in that for several years. And just about any area you could think of were things that shrine organizations and churches have done. And it all follows the pattern of Jesus Christ. The scribes and the Pharisees were all even blessed by Jesus. As much negativity as there is in the Bible about the Pharisees, he blessed them greatly. He said to love your enemies from Matthew 5:48. He cleanses a leper in Matthew 8. He heals a centurion's servant. He healed people on the Sabbath, going against, I don't know how many, but there were hundreds and hundreds of laws that the Jewish people lived by. Laws concerning food and how to cook it and when to eat it and everything else in life. But he heals a centurion's servant, and he also heals on the Sabbath, which is against Jewish law. In that, he was like some of us who maybe drive fast or a few other little mistakes we make. We may be violating a law. I've done that a few times in my life. And when I learned to say thank you and smile at the cop, I thought, I've made it. I've made it. If I can get a ticket and smile and say thank you to the policeman for reminding me, then it's okay. It's all good. But I had a few before that. And my thoughts weren't so pure then. He healed a paralytic girl. A girl was restored to life and a woman healed in another incident. He healed men possessed by demons. 2 blind men were healed in another instance. A mute speaks. That was Jesus' healing. From Matthew 9 and Matthew 20, the mute speaks. A boy is healed. Several of these are combined in Matthew 11. If you want to see several of them in a whole string, Matthew 11, 1 through 10 is a good place to do it. But you notice there are verses I've left out of the slides up here. I left those out because Ed Rabel, one of my professors in seminary, said it's not such a bad thing to send people hunting through the Bible to find something you talk about. So I've done that for you today too. Jesus went across the whole world. This church blesses anyone that comes in its doors. We don't ask. We don't expect any kind of offering or gift, or we don't expect any type of honesty and so on. We take care of. Did you see? I don't know if all of you have seen our little mascot, Jasper. Last night, I'm told that in the shelter, which took place last night, he picked the most schizophrenic person to snuggle up to. Isn't that interesting? I think I heard he was 14 years old. But what a love. Jesus went across the known world doing good by teaching, by counseling, by blessing, by feeding, and by loving and accepting all people. All of them, even the lepers who nobody would touch, even family would touch. He did, and he blessed them greatly and healed them. He was perhaps the first and greatest, and the one that all other philanthropies are based on, whether they know it or not. Because it is giving good, doing goodwill is what philanthropy is all about. That's what you as a church do. That's what the Shriners and all the organizations, the Order of the Eastern Star, which we're part of right now, are involved in. He was perhaps the first, Jesus was perhaps the first and the greatest, and perhaps he still is. Because by his giving that is recorded in history, that gives the rest of us a model to follow. And we're doing well. In America especially, we're doing well. You all really should raise your hand like this, bend your elbow, and pat yourself on the back. As we emulate Jesus in all that we do, we fulfill the one commandment in the New Testament to love one another and care for each other. And you folks are doing that. The Shrine organization with the Eastern Star is doing that. 380,000 organizations across this country are doing that. And we need to know it, we need to understand it, we need to celebrate it, we need to praise it, and we all need to stay and keep up the good work. So thank you for all that you do. Again, raise your hand, bend your elbow, pat yourself on the back. Do it with both arms if you want to. Without philanthropy, without philanthropists and philanthropy in this country, it would be very different. Be a very different country. And so we have a lot to celebrate today, to celebrate one another, to celebrate this church for being here, and all the many organizations across this country that take care of it so very well. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. A text came through this week, and I made the comment that it's the band, or it's the music that usually ministers to the minister. In this church, it's not only, do you need this, sweetie? It's not only the music, but it's the people. And if you were here early enough, something funny is happening back there. If you were here early enough, you saw Kat's beautiful video. That ministers to me every single Sunday. Thank you, Kat. Give her a hand.
Well, I did pat myself on the back earlier, and I pulled a muscle. Thank you very much. Yep, I'm going to have to lie down after the service. It's going to be good. It's going to be very, very good. So I guess as our ushers come down, do we have ushers? Oh, there we go. As our ushers come down together, let's all take a moment and hold our gifts in our hand and say, here we go. Glad it's up on the screen there. All together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Woo. Thank you, God. And now we're going to do a little bit of try a little kindness with, once again, Ms. Gianna Garcia.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Standing by the road, the heavy load from the city zone. And if you see your sister falling by the way, just stop and say, you're going the wrong way. Got to try a little kindness, you show a little kindness, just shine your light for everyone to see. And if you try a little kindness, then you'll overlook the blindness of the narrow-minded people on the narrow-minded street. Lend a helping hand instead of doubt, and the kindness that you show every day will help someone along their way. Try a little kindness, just show a little kindness, just shine your light for everyone to see. And if you try a little kindness, then you'll have the fineness of the narrow-minded people on the narrow-minded streets. You've got to try a little kindness, you show a little kindness, shine your light for everyone to see. And if you try a little kindness, then you'll overlook the blindness of the narrow-minded people on the narrow-minded
Well, that was lovely. Thank you, Gianna. All right, so we have some announcements. We have face masks for $10. So see Brandy if you would like one. The mat making continues on Thursdays from 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. and Saturdays at 10 a.m. So please keep bringing bags. We especially like the colorful ones. So new volunteers are always welcome, and you will be trained. We will also have the mat makers. The mat makers are inviting you to stay after church on March the 20th for lunch and a party. Everyone is welcome. We will be straightening and cutting bags for the weavers. Now, next week, in lieu of the New Thought and World Religions class, there is a fundraising fellowship pancake breakfast with our YOU and Uniteens group. Breakfast is 9 to 10:30 a.m., so plenty of time to come in. Please bring your generous love offering to help fund their way to the rally. And please save the date for Tom Long's Celebration of Life. That will be April the 2nd at 1 p.m. Also, save the date for Sue's next class, Self-Care and Life Balance. There is no date, so I guess you just have to save it in your heart for now. Is there a date up there? Oh, look at that. Yeah, you guys got the information. I didn't get it. That's very nice. Don't forget today's Planet Unity Earth Day team. Captain meeting is after this service. If you would like to pre-order a Planet Unity t-shirt, there's a sign up in the foyer on the table out there. And then following the Planet Unity meeting, the LGBTQIA plus group and allies group will be holding a planning meeting. So if you have ideas and you want to help or step into leadership, please plan to attend. And there will be pizza, Brandy says. I found out this morning that eating leftover pizza with onions and peppers on it gives me heartburn. That was a fun little surprise for me this morning. That's great. Mary, did you have a... Is Mary? Let's see. In the what? In the nursery. Mary has an announcement for yard sale. I guess that's coming up. It's time for the Planet Unity indoor yard sale. Yay! That's all I have. So I guess we'll move on to this. So now that we've gotten your regular gift, we do have, we're raising funds for a stage outside. So we can do a lot of outdoor stuff during the summertime. So we'd like to build a nice little stage. So if you would like to give a little bit extra, we are doing a fundraiser for a nice outdoor stage for all the live production and music from, when we do Planet Unity to just all of the performances. So if you'd like to give a little bit extra, see Brandy. Yes, see Brandy. Yes. Oh, wait. We're giving, look at that. We have baskets. People, we have weaved baskets. So that is good. All right. Well, as that goes, no, it's John Brocker, not Mary. All right. So if you would please stand and join us in the prayer for protection. All right, all together now. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. We're going to wrap it up with that wonderful classic, the peace song. No.
No hand holding with me.
I feel like no holding hands is now. I'm good with that.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. God as creator, guide it all are we. Let us walk with each other, perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. Every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in truth eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Happy St. Patrick's Day. We'll see you next time.
There is only love.
We're all done. 1, 2, 3, 4.